How are we doing, everyone? Welcome to the final week of 2024. I don't know, for some of you, maybe that's a good thing. For me, a guy who, I'm not superstitious, but I'm not going to say Candyman in the mirror 5 times on the off chance, on the 0.0001% chance the Candyman is actually real. Because here's the trade-off. I say Candyman in the mirror 5 times. Nothing happens. Oh, I told you. Is there anything good about that? No. On the 0.00001% chance the Candyman's a real thing, that's a pretty big downside. So I'm not saying Candyman in the mirror 5 times, just on that off chance. In fact, I got a new podcast coming out. I'm just editing it now. It will be out before the new year. And I talk about how on my birthday, I didn't blow out the candles. They brought a birthday cake out in the steakhouse I was taken to for my birthday, and I refused to blow out the candles. Why? It's been a fantastic year for me. On the off chance there's some gypsy voodoo magic where, like in Liar Liar, you blow out the candles. Meanwhile, somewhere in one of these YouTube commenters has a Stephen King's thinner gypsy doll of me, and they're like stabbing it all the time, and they're saying, when he blows his candles and makes a wish, it all goes back. I didn't blow out the birthday candles for my most recent birthday. I refused. I said, look, I don't need anything. It is great right now, which is what I always wanted. So I know you want me to wish for more. This is like some sort of reverse psychology. Oh, he's greedy, so take away those good years. Connor McDavid has his Conn Smythe revoked. That's the kind of guy I am. I didn't blow out my birthday candles here in 2024 because I don't want it to end. However, I always thought that that's as good as it can get, but there's always next year. 2025 may bring bigger and better things, although it's been an upward trajectory since the start, and you guys can help with that upward trajectory here into the new year by doing those things, helping these videos get bigger. Wait, how do I do that? How can I help make these videos get bigger? It's very simple. You got to lift that finger of yours, that sausage finger, and click like and write a comment in the comments. I don't want you to do this. Unfortunately, I've been told I need you to do this. And if you like these videos, click the notifications so you know when the most recent one is coming out. And when is that most recent one coming out? Well, you're watching one right now, so hopefully you got that notification and you're one of these first to watch it, and you're one of those commenters. I don't know what this is. Sorry, hockey people. You may have to listen. If you don't want to listen to me, why are you even here? For the sniffs. I'm not a sports gambler. I'm an entertainer. Know your role, shut your mouth, and allow me to enjoy some of the final hours of what was a fantastic year for me. Oh, was it not a fantastic year for you? No, I've had decades worth of those. Everyone gets theirs. Yours is coming. Allow me to bask in mine. Anyway, we got a 3-game slate here on this Monday. Sometimes on 3-game slate, you find yourself forcing some sniffs, but there are a few that I like. I know I can give you 650 unique exotic bets where I think I found an advantage. And if all of them hit, what are the donkeys going to say? Come on, man, we just want money lines. Come on, we're going into 2025. We want money lines, aka we want to continue to lose. Don't worry. I have a money line here, and I'm not going to tell you when it's going to come. You have to eat your vegetables before you get to those Nestle Crunch bars, which this is not sponsored by. I would love if this show was sponsored by Nestle Crunch, but it's not. So until then, the only sponsors of this show are you fine folks, the people on the Patreon. So if you want to join over there for my spreadsheets, which it's killing it to a point where it's laughable. But you can join that at patreon.com/Andy Francess, just how you see on the bottom of your screen right now. Anyway, we got this first game between the Rangers and the Florida Panthers. One of these days, one of these months, you got to figure the Rangers are going to wake up slightly. I don't think they're going to be good by any stretch of the imagination. Speaking of like Stephen King's thinner, with making a deal with the Gypsies. I feel like the Rangers made a deal with the Gypsies from Stephen King. By the way, are you not allowed to say Gypsies anymore?
We don't like to think about that doing this.
I don't care. Just grandfather me in. Gypsies, we were just throwing that around left and right. If you just travel too much in 1 month, you're a gypsy. So, oh man, I really got it going today. So, I feel like the Rangers made a deal with the gypsy from Stephen King's Thinner. And they sacrificed their soul to make it to those conference finals because they're paying the price. I know we talked about last year, are they a scam number 1 seed? Are they not a scam? I don't know what they are other than very much so not good so far this season. You got the GM doing anything to try to get juice going. Traded Kaako, forced Gaudreau out over the summer, forced Trouba out of there. Hasn't gotten the response. Nothing close to it, in fact, as they took yet another beating last game at the hands of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Can the Florida Panthers wake them up? It's going to be a tall order because the Florida Panthers, for the first time in 21 years, just got shut out on their own home ice in back-to-back games. Not by fantastic teams either, by Jonas Johansson on the Lightning. So yes, the Lightning are a good team, but it wasn't Vasilevsky who did it. And then a rookie in one of his first starts for the Montreal Canadiens. Those are pretty tough shutouts back-to-back. So I would imagine that you're going to have a pretty hungry Panthers team. You saw what happened when they got shut out in back-to-back games in Canada. They came out and scored 6 against the Edmonton Oilers. So I am inclined to believe, as long as the Rangers don't pull a complete 180 and all of a sudden it's like, oh, here they go again, power plays red hot, they're scoring, you gotta kind of like the Florida Panthers. You want to know why I love giving out high-price money lines? Because now the donkeys and gargoyles who demand money lines, okay, fine. No, we want money lines, but only underdogs. Well, there's a money line right there, minus 195, Florida Panthers. But obviously, there are always other ways to do this. As I told you last week, if the money line is always expensive, I said this with the Buffalo Sabres, I gave a money line, and then the guy complained in the comment. I hate everybody. I hate everybody. Happy New Year. The next thing you can do is go with the over 3.5 goals. If we think this is going to be an outburst from the Florida Panthers, we can do that, which is closer to even money. The way the Rangers are playing, what I'm looking at is an under 2.5 goals for the New York Rangers. That's something that I like. I mean, one of these games, the Rangers should awaken somewhat. But on the road against probably a pissed-off Florida, I think Florida should be able to hold them under 2.5 goals. And then within Florida, I'm seeing some decent prices. And I say decent prices because it's not like they're fantastic. But considering that Carter Verhaeghe, Matthew Tkachuk, very frequently in the past, we've seen them listed at 3.5 shots on goal. So when you see them listed at 2.5, I think in a game where you know they're going to be getting pucks to the net, you even saw that pretty much throughout that last game against Montreal, they just weren't rewarded. You got to think that continues. A hungry Florida Panthers team usually gets a lot of pucks to the net. So give me the over 2.5 shots on goal for Carter Verhaeghe. And then give me the point. Give me the point for Carter Verhaeghe and his over 2.5 shots on goal for a plus money prop in that Florida Panthers game. I would be remiss to say, despite the Rangers' struggles, I would, if you don't want to take that under 2.5 or something like that, I do. I mean, it's going to be included on the spreadsheet. All these years of Panarin always being listed at 1.5. It just has to be mentioned that getting him and Trocheck for plus 115, that point prop combo, that's a pretty good price, even when they are struggling. Like that hit last game, despite the continued offensive struggle. So just wanted to bring that to your attention. Then next up, we got this Nashville-Winnipeg game. Nashville's been playing a hell of a lot better. They were rattling off quite a few wins, and that top line of theirs, despite the fact that it's a bunch of righty shooters all shoved on the same line, they've found some chemistry recently, and they found themselves on the score sheet in like 5 of their last 6 games. However, they're going into Winnipeg, the black hole for offense. With Winnipeg, the classic auto bet is taking the opponent coming in under 2.5 goals if you see that Hellebuck is starting. For this one, two goalies that I pretty much I trust Saros. He has not been the problem this year. He's been pretty good. We know Hellebuck's been great. Put those two together. Give me that Witch's Brew under 6.5 in that game between the Winnipeg Jets and the Nashville Predators. That one's taking place in Winnipeg, so I kind of like that under 6.5 there. In the late game, you want a money line? I'm going to make you click something. You know what's funny? You don't want high price minuses. You don't want to take disgusting teams. You literally leave me no window for anything ever, which is why you're going to have to take them Cockroach-Kraken on the money line, plus 100. Look, the Kraken, they were playing pretty terribly. They were losing game after game after game, scoring one goal, maybe two. Offense was putrid. They looked as bad as kind of their logo and arena and all that stuff has been. Sorry, you guys know I have my Kraken hatred from a couple of years ago. But they were on their way to yet another loss in that same fashion, and then I don't know, maybe they made a deal with the gypsy from Stephen King's Thinner. Because in the third period of that last game on that road trip they were on, they erupted, tied the game, and then won in overtime against the Vancouver Canucks. Now they come home, and I feel like they're going to ride that momentum into this game against a very beatable Utah hockey club. When I call them the Arizona Coyotes, people understand how beatable they are. So when the Seattle Kraken come back and win a game in overtime and take that momentum coming home against the Arizona Coyotes, I think that's a very winnable game. So give me the Seattle Kraken plus 100 at home against the Utah Coyotes. And we got some guys finally listed on their point props. We got some correlated high-priced combos in a home game against a team you can score against. So these are the calculated spots that I like. Go find me a money line that can get you plus 350, and I'll kind of have a chuckle because I know it doesn't exist, especially on this slate. So I'm seeing these correlated combos. Number one, give me Shane Wright and Oliver Bjorkstrand. And number two, give me Kaako and Matt Beniers, because I refuse to call him Matty. I made that announcement about a month ago. I will never call a grown man Matty. Matty is like a 9-year-old chasing an ice cream truck. So give me Kaako and Matt Beniers, both for a point. Both of those same game parlays, those point prop line combos in a home game, a very winnable home game against the Phoenix, Arizona Coyotes. Both of those point prop combos are over plus 300. Maybe none hit, but that's why it's a calculated sniff. You saw how my line combos did for you last week. Those of you on the Patreon saw how well it's been doing the last couple of weeks. That's where the value is, and as long as those prices are there, that is where I will continue to get you those best prices. That's what I have for you here on the final Monday of 2024. Good luck to you. Doesn't matter, 2023, 2024, 2025. When I'm dead, better luck to me. Do those things that I asked you earlier. If you want that good sports betting karma, all right, you don't do these. How about this? You don't do these things. You want a Stephen King's Thinner gypsy curse? Here it is.
Sir?
You don't do those things. How do you like this for stereotypical gypsy voice? You will have bad sports betting karma. Tina. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.